the man of the hour. Bayze is in the house.
Wait,
Yo, what's going on?
No, we want to see your face, man.
Oh man, I wasn't ready for the face.
No, that's part of this aesthetic, man. Put your face up on the screen.
Oh man.
If not, we want to see. Come on, Breaker Special. We want to see it, man.
I never show off my face. Nobody knows what I look like. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I've seen you before.
Give me a second. Let me flip the camera around and stuff.
There you go. Look at that beautiful face. Now let's see this in the background. Look at this. Look at this.
So my room is not completely set up yet. I have that over there. All my stuff. We just recently moved.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that. Yeah.
My collection is still kind of sitting around.
Look at that, Andy. All those JJets.
Yeah, my room's still a little bit of a mess. A breaker's room, if you will, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we got a few questions for you. Learn more about you,
Go
man.
For it.
Now, why did you first off start super collecting Justin Jefferson?
So it's pretty funny. There was another Twitter guy. I had joined Twitter, I want to say probably back in 2013, 14, and I barely even used it. Barely used the app. Didn't do much on it. Just had a couple of friends that were from back home. And I just kind of jumped back on it and started interacting with people, seeing that there was a bunch of Vikings fans, a bunch of, sports collectors and everything. And one of the guys that continuously popped up on my timeline, his name was Certified Sports Cards. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of him, but he's I think he's a pitcher in college, but he also collects like high-end cards and stuff. Okay. So I jumped into my first break with him, and I ended up hitting a Justin Herbert Prism base, which was probably valued at like $200. Like at the time, this is when the hobby was at its peak. I would say, right. Like it was starting to build back up, and it was just crazy. I think the same card's probably worth about $40 at the moment. But then I realized, Justin Jefferson is going to have cards this year. So, maybe now is a good opportunity for me to jump in and start collecting again. So we hadn't had a player as big as him in forever, right? Like,
right.
nothing. Nobody has, I don't even know how to explain it. Nobody has like influential, just something to look forward to as a Vikings fan. We don't have that very often. We have that every year. It's it's kind of the same thing as the Cowboys. This is our year or whatever. You want to say that we get our hopes up again, and then the Vikings, they do what they do and they let us down. That's what the Vikings do. Every single year. So after that, I had just gotten out of the Air Force and decided to pick up a hobby, and that was it. And I think I started off with maybe 7 or 8 Justin Jeffersons, bunch of small cards, and I was like, I could do a lot better than that. I could blow this thing up, and so I just ran with it. Just started finding everything I could, and decided one day, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be the biggest Justin Jefferson collector in the world. So that is where I'm at.
Yeah, and Andy and I wanted to talk to you about building a super collection of a player. What are some things that you've learned, and what are some things that you wish you have done differently?
So since I was just getting back into the hobby, I feel like I'm like looking up to you guys. So I feel like it's a little bit weird, but when I was just getting back into the hobby, I wasn't really aware of the brands and the things that I really liked. I was just kind of jumping into everything. I was picking up every card, and I was just buying like, everything for like $30, $40, something pretty cheap. And after maybe a year or so is when I realized, there were certain sets that I really liked. And it's always been chrome sets. So like, Prism, Mosaic, Optic Contenders, anything that has the thicker card stock that's nice. I don't like the paper stuff. And there was just so much like money wasted on the paper stuff early on that if I would have known that from the beginning, I think my collection would be even better.
Right.
And there wouldn't be as much wasted money, towards those things that I don't really care for. A lot of that stuff I've pretty much moved on from. So like I have my 4 biggest ones are going to be Prism, Select, Mosaic, and Optic. So those are the big sets that I've tried to finish. I'm like 2 or 3 away on most of them. So
Nice.
from completing the rainbows, yeah.
And you don't grade any of them, do you?
So I prefer not to grade them. I prefer the aesthetic of just having them like that. But every now and then I'll come across a card that I just haven't seen it in a while. So my best bet is to just get it as it's graded. And if it's not a 10, then I really have no issues with cracking it open and taking the card out. So I'll do that. Like for instance, let me see. I have a bunch. Like I'll show you. I got stuff just like stacked over here, like cards for days. Awesome. I'll grab them real quick. 1 second.
Yeah, go on ahead. Yeah, Andy, this is like really cool because like I am obviously super collecting Tyrann Matthew, and Bayze has really helped me out. Yeah, and obviously I am jealous because I'm an LSU guy, and Jets is one of the best LSU Tigers of all time. And his older brother's playing at LSU too, makes it even that much more special. And he was a 2-star recruit, Andy. He was one of the lowest rated recruits ever in the modern era of LSU. So it's really cool.
I'm trying to find the one that stands out to me.
So Bayze, you like the look of them raw better than in a slab, or the reason why you don't grade it is because you're afraid of not getting a 10 kind of thing?
Both. I do prefer the raw look. Okay. So I know a lot of people don't like HGA, but I really like the idea of the custom labels and stuff when they first came out. So PSA just seems so blah, like just,
okay.
Red and white. That doesn't really match well with the Vikings colors.
I love modern stuff. I just love modern things. So like this is the T-Mall. This is 3 out of 8. There's only 8 of them in the world. So I hadn't seen one of these in a while. And the one that I found was a PSA 9. So I decided, I have to go for it. But the opportunity for another one to pop up, which I haven't seen another one, is going to be rare. So I'll go for it. And nobody else was chasing it. I was communicating with the guy pretty much daily, and he just kept dropping his price and dropping his price and dropping his price. And I was like, this is it. I'll have to get it. So it was a PSA 9, and I cracked it out. I learned how to crack PSA slabs on YouTube. So I have a little tool here that I use. Let me see. I have it right here. It's like a pair of almost like heavy duty pliers. Yeah. So you just pop that open and just crack it, and then stick a knife in there or something, and it's out.
Yeah, Bayze, I was seeing this video. Andy actually did what did you do? A gardening shear test?
I did. I cracked every kind of slab you can imagine with just a screwdriver. It was a challenge.
Just a screwdriver.
Yeah, just a screwdriver. What I found is the way that they glue their slabs together is different, between the different grading companies. Like PSA has that lip on the sides to where if you go at with a screwdriver on the back of it, right on that seam, it'll actually pop off, and you can get it out that way. Whereas SGC is so easy. You just put that screwdriver in that little groove and just pop, 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 pop.
Yeah. SGC is like hands down. Like if I find an SGC, even an SGC 10, I'll crack open. If I find one of those, I'm like, thank the Lord. That's the one I want to crack open, and I know for a fact I can get it out without any issues, and it's just super easy. HGA is actually really hard. Their slabs are like thick. I got insanely thick compared to PSA. I've never cracked open a CSG, or is it CSG or
Super
CGS?
thick. Yeah, CSG slabs are super thick too.
Are they
I mean,
too? Yeah.
yeah, super
Beckett as
thick.
well. Beckett is pretty hard to crack open.
Right. So a few more here. I wanted to, share this from a super collector. Obviously, Tyron Matthew, I was trying to complete a rainbow and it was numbered to 10 and the card was within my range. It was a little high and I missed out on it and I've not seen it again. And I guess Bayze, you make a good point a minute ago that if you see that card, and mine is numbered to 10, yours is numbered to 8. If you
Yep.
really want it and you're trying to rainbow the heck out of Prism, especially 2020 Prism, when there's all these different variations, there's green, blue, magenta, east side, west side story, Transformers, Fast and Furious, Prism variations. You got to jump on it when you can if you're trying to super collect somebody.
Yeah. So I got a tip from a guy. He's another Vikings collector, and he says that anything below 25, as soon as he sees it, like that's what he's going for. He won't take the risk of losing out on something like that just because 25. I mean 25 sounds like a lot, like potentially, but then you have people that hold on to wax and they never come out. Like there's certain cards that just they stay in a box for years at a time, and then you have people who don't have social media, who aren't putting their stuff on eBay or on Facebook or on Twitter. So you're already probably cutting out maybe like half of the population of those. You're never going to see them. Or you have the people who go straight to PSA, and if it does gem, then you're going to have to deal with the upcharge of a gem as opposed to buying it raw. So there's so many different factors that go into it, but yeah, like I swear I'm close on so many rainbows, it's not even funny. Like I just start one and I see something I like and I start another one and another one, another one. I probably have a good maybe like 20 plus rainbows that are like 2, 3, 4 cards away from being completed.
What's nicer in your opinion, select or mosaic?
That's a really tough choice. I love them both. I love the thing I love about select is it's just like an endless amount of parallels. There's just everything you think of: snake, tiger, zebra. It's just everything. To me, they made a mistake last year when they introduced retail and they put the color in there, because just for Justin Jefferson alone, I looked at his checklist. It's about almost 350 cards, I believe, for him, just out of select. That's just way too many. Like for most like Prism or something, you're talking maybe 30 cards, 30, 40. 300 is just, there's no way I'll ever get all of those, right? It's just impossible.
The leap from 2019 to 2020, like 2019, DK Metcalf, Kyler Murray. I mean, those guys had what, like 50, 60 maybe? And now they go to 300. That was wild.
I actually did see a post, somebody saying yesterday that Trevor Lawrence had over 1,000 one-of-ones in last year's product, which is like way higher than any other year. They just like, they turned those printer machines on and they just started going, just printing everything they could possibly. So,
and that's still coming out. Like Select is coming out at the end of August. What I'm curious is how many of those one-of-ones, Bayze, do you think are actually printing plates? Because if I go to like tradingcarddatabase.com, it'll let me filter and look at the different, cards that a player has in each set. And a lot of those show one-of-one printing plate for basically every insert and every parallel. Or not every parallel, but photo variation.
Yes.
There's a one-of-one printing plate.
And there's usually like 4 different printing plates as well when it comes to like, they have like magenta, yellow, black. And so there's like 4 different types of that same printing plate. I would say it probably accounts for maybe like 30 to 40%. It's probably a good chunk of them, right? Because no other one-of-one you're going to find 4 of, right? You're not going to find 4 one-of-ones of that one-of-one. But the amount of, inserts and parallels and all that other stuff involved, it has to be something around around that. That's just a spitball number. I wouldn't know exactly. But that's exactly the website that he referenced, though. Is what was it?
It's a tcdb.com.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, I love that site. It's a work in progress because it's maintained by the user. It's kind of like Wikipedia. You know, it's like a group of collectors and they constantly are adding to it and stuff, and they'll post pictures. So a lot of the cards on there don't have pictures, but when the new sets come out, they maintain an entire database of every card for a specific player in each set, which is pretty cool.
So this is my son, my oldest. He just pops in my room whenever he wants. So I don't know if you guys have ever watched any of my breaks, but every now and then they'll pop in the middle of them, and
no.
Their 2 cents. You gonna say hi? Say hi to everybody over there.
Hi.
Oh, look at that. Mini Jets right there. There you go.
You like the Vikings?
Yeah.
Yeah. You like Justin Jefferson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about Kirk Cousins, buddy? You excited about Kirk Cousins this year?
You like Kirk Cousins?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who is him?
That is Andy.
Who is him?
I don't know what is your first name.
Oh, mine Carter. I'm Carter.
Carter. There you go. I don't know you either. You guys.
We know each other from Twitter.
Yeah.
Well,
Your second name.
Okay, go over there.
Well, we'll get a few. I just have 2 more for you before you go hang out with your family. I know you're moving and all that stuff. First one, I've talked about this privately. I do have a friend that works for the Vikings, my friend Tatum. I know you're a fan. Shout out to you, Tatum Everett, the Vikings official reporter. Has Justin Jefferson acknowledged your collection? Have you gotten a like?
No, I've been trying so hard to. I tag him and everything. It's probably annoying at this point, the fact that I tag him and stuff. But I did get an insane gift. I don't know if you guys saw recently, but he had a signing for Fan HQ, and a couple of the guys that break with me, they actually sent in a helmet and had him there you go. You had it. Had him scribe it saying keep ripping Bayze, so I was like just blown away that the guys would do that for me.
I keep calling you Bayze. I didn't know it was Bayze.
Yeah, Bayze. It's French. My whole life it's been mispronounced. The only person who's ever gotten it right was my basic training instructor, which is really, really funny.
Right, Bayze. I love it. So yeah, before we let you go, we want to talk about breaking really quickly. Obviously, it's changed so much. You do it. And I've actually reached out to a few people. You and I have a bunch of mutual friends.
Yep.
They compliment your breaks, and you have a very good reputation in the hobby. What's the key to being a good breaker, and how do you feel breaking is right now?
I feel like at this moment, breaking has slowed down a bit. It's not. It's definitely not at the peak it was, a few months ago. I think everything has kind of taken a little hit with the economy and all that stuff involved, But I think the biggest key to success in being a good breaker is just being dedicated to it. Like some people want to break and they just want to rip the product, and and then all the other stuff that's the hard stuff, like the packing and the sorting and the getting stuff out right away. That's the stuff that they kind of push to the side. And I see that as an opportunity, not for me, but for the people that are breaking with me to typically potentially make money, because as soon as a product comes out is when the values are going to be the highest. Everybody's going to be chasing after these certain things. So the sooner I get the cards to them, the faster they'll be able to put them up for sale and get them out. So there's larger breakers who, we only ship on Tuesdays and Fridays or something along those lines. So, if you're breaking on Friday or, Saturday, then they're not shipping out until Tuesday. I'll do my best to get it out that very next day. And I even offer the idea of, hey, do you need me to submit this to PSA for you? I could submit it to PSA. I'll look it over, I'll take a look at the card. Hey, I think this will gem, so I could submit it for you. And then I also offer pictures. I could take pictures of it so that you can post it up on eBay. So you put it on a 7-day auction, and that way, by the time it arrives to you, you can ship it out. So you have it first on the market. The first on the market is always going to give a premium. So and you know, I see it as it's going to come back to me anyways, right? Like, you know, the people are they're already invested in me and in our group. So they're not gonna just be like, oh, you know, thanks, Bayze. Like, I'm deuces. Thanks for all the help and doing all these things for me. Like, I'm out. I'm gonna go find a different breaker. You know, most of the people that I've created a little community with on Twitter, they've been around for a while. So, you know, I just want to do everything I can to better all of us.
So, do you break on Twitter, Bayze?
So I post all of my breaks on Twitter for filling, but I actually do the breaks on YouTube and Twitch.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
What's the name of your YouTube channel?
The same thing, JJetsCards18. So
JJetsCards18. Gotcha.
Yeah, I just try to do that. I'll show off my little logo here.
I love the logo.
I try to keep it the same across everything. That way, you know, it's easier to find me. If you do a bunch of different names, then you know you're limiting yourself. If I have Bayze on one thing and then JJ's Cards on another and then something, you know, you're limiting yourself. So if I have that same name across everything, then people are gonna know who I am, right?
Yeah. Well, this is one key observation I've made. Okay, two things. How's your gritty game?
How's my what? My gritty? Oh, my family says I have a really bad gritty. So
oh god, well, you got to step that up for when you meet them, right?
I try, you know. I've never been a good dancer. I've never been, you know, light on my feet. So, you know, I think that's something that comes with, you know, just that, like those players are just so smooth with it. I don't even know how to do it. It's like they're gliding.
There you go.
What about you guys?
I'm from Louisiana, so my gritty game needs to be stronger, but it's not great. and Andy's from Tampa, and no one knows how to dance in Tampa at all. Like,
especially not me.
So here's what's funny. You know what's funny? Your Justin Jefferson collection, you need to thank Trevor Lawrence for it, because, all right, hear me out. You have an Ohio State hat on, right?
Yes. My wife is from Ohio. That's why.
Oh, okay. So you're not an Ohio State fan.
So I didn't have a college team prior to meeting my wife. So, you know, it was easy. She didn't have an NFL team, so she picked up the Vikings, and I picked up the Ohio State Buckeyes. So she's not a Kirk Cousins fan, by the way. If I will put that in there.
Oh,
so she's anti-Kirk. Yes.
Interesting.
I love Kirk. I love Kirk. I think he's everything the Vikings have needed.
You must not watch very much Monday Night Football or Thursday Night Football.
He's not at fault for all those. You know, our defense has struggled these last. You know what Zim was known for. You know, and it's so frustrating to know that all that stuff was going on behind the scenes. You know, like, I don't know,
the iron fist of Mike Zimmer.
Yeah, man, good old Zim. I love Zimmer too, though. You know, I love Zimmer in the early stages of his career. Everything he did for the Vikings defense, and it's just so crappy to know that one signing just completely dismantled the team. Everything him and Spielman had put together. That was just a big, fracture between the whole team.
But this could be their year, though. But some other thing that we bonded over was this misprint Daniil Hunter card.
Oh yeah,
you and I bought it. You and I were both furious about that.
Yes, I remember that. That's Prestige, right? Is that Prestige?
Yeah, Prestige. Yes.
Yeah, I remember that one. Because as soon as I saw those sleeves on his arms or whatever they were, I was like, that is not Daniil Hunter. Daniil Hunter is just always like, jacked. Yeah, he has his arm showing off. There's no way he's gonna hide those things.
Yeah, dude, those are bazookas, boy. But the reason why I was saying that is because we would have played Ohio State in the national championship game, and we still would have beaten them down. Because come on, we're LSU. 2019 LSU were the greatest team of all time. But that's why you got to thank Trevor Lawrence, because we beat down Clemson instead. So
yeah, very true.
That's the key. But I want to say thank you for hanging out. I know you got
no problem.
I didn't even know you were moving. But keep up the super collection. If you want to see all the cool Justin Jefferson cards that JJets18 has, make sure you check it out on all his social media platforms. I appreciate all your wisdom via Twitter DMs. And thank you for sharing some wisdom with us, my friend.
No problem, guys. It was nice talking to you.
Wait a minute. Before you get out of here, Bayze, we gotta put you on the spot. Give us a bold prediction for 2022 season here. Who do you got for the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl. You know what? Like I said earlier on in this conversation, I said this is our year every year, you know, and I feel like things are different this year. They are different. The team is bringing back a lot of the same players, you know. We were like what? Just a few. If those points would have changed, the Vikings wouldn't have given up points within the last, I think it was like 2 minutes of every game, they would have been like 14-2 last year, something insane like that, something ridiculous. I think the potential is there, and I think they can do it. It's
Kevin
rough.
O'Connell's a stud, man. I mean, it could bring them together. I'm excited for you guys this year.
Yep, I wouldn't mind seeing the Vikings, and then the AFC is just so stacked. It could be Josh Allen and the Bills. It can be Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. It can be Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and, you know, the Bengals. And it's just loaded. I mean, even the Chargers. The Chargers picked up Khalil Mack. They just picked up a ton of free agents. I think it's going to be, you know, all out this year. I think anybody's on the table.
So, you know, real quick before we let you get out of here, Carter's a big LSU. Obviously, that's what he does for his day job. So, obviously, he's a Saints fan as well. And I don't know if he shared with you the big Jameis card that he recently purchased, the BGS 95 rookie ticket auto. But I want to ask you, have you started your Chris Olave collection yet?
Oh, me? Oh, no.
No, Bayze.
Oh, so being an Ohio State fan is what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Not so much. You know, I don't really collect any Ohio State players. It's like I came to this point in my collecting where I had tons of just random Vikings. Right, I just had every Viking you can think of from doing breaks mostly, and I had this one specific card. It was a gold Kaboom. You know, I don't know if you guys are aware. Kabooms are probably like one of the biggest, right? Like the biggest.
Yeah,
I think so.
Most memorable card. So I had a gold Kaboom Adam Thielen, and I had an offer on it that was, I think, $800 over what I paid for it. So the guy was really making me think, like, should I sell it? And my wife had told me one day, she was like, you know, whatever you said this entire time, you're a Justin Jefferson collector, right? Not a Adam Thielen collector, not a Dalvin Cook collector, not a Kirk Cousins collector. So that's that. From that day forward, it's been like probably, I want to say 95% strictly Justin Jefferson. So, you know, just focus clearly on that. And I just want the 101.
Ooh.
Kaboom, Justin Jefferson.
Look at that, man.
Quick shout out to
picture.
Wisconsin Breaks. He pulled that for me.
Wow.
That's the big one right there.
Man, look at that thing. God bless it. Well, Bayze, I appreciate you, my friend. We'll talk soon.
No problem, guys.
Yeah,
it was nice talking to you.
See you, bud.
Yes, sir.
Go
Cheers.
follow JJetsCards18 on every social media platform, guys.
I better see those numbers pumping up by the end of the day.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
All right, guys.
All right, see you, bud. Cheers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I told you it'd be great, man.
That was awesome.
Yeah, you know, for me, I think I was kind of a sore subject for me, the number 3 out of 8 card, knowing that I passed on the Tyrann Mathieu to complete a rainbow. To complete a rainbow, I knew that card, if I would have just purchased that card, it would have just completed the rainbow. And it was under, I could have got it for under $200. And, you know, those are the things you just think about all the time. And when you're super collecting someone, you can't get obsess, it can get expensive if you're trying to get like every color of every, variation. But, if you have that opportunity to get it and you think you have the money for it, gotta grab it. Gotta grab it when it can.
Well, that's the thing, that the big message I got there. Like, if you're not buying all these other guys, you're literally just waiting for the next like card you're looking for to complete your rainbow of your player. Then you're saving up your money. Like, you're just gonna go like, well, I don't care if I have to pay $50-$60 more than what the recent comp was. I'm gonna do it to make sure I get that card, kind of thing. And I'm wondering if part of your decision hesitancy on that was because you just bought a Jameis rookie ticket auto BGS 9.5. Did that play into that at all?
Maybe. Like, obviously the Jameis thing is strictly a play. I think, I think he's going to play well, and people love comeback stories, and I think it's going to go up, right? But, I've done that also with Tyrann Mathieu, where, if it's not a Tyrann Mathieu card, it's expendable. And that's part of the reason why, like if I were to go out there, and I like Justin Jefferson a lot, obviously, he's one of the best LSU players of all time. But if I were to go out there and get a Justin Jefferson card, I mean, there's so many people out there that have better Justin Jefferson collections than me. I know it's going to be very, very, very expensive. So, you just can't collect everybody. Like, that's why, like, it just blows my mind when I see these super duper deep pocketed guys. They got all these expensive Kobe's, all these expensive LeBrons. I guess if you got it, you got it. But man, it's amazing how expensive this thing can become if you really start trying to super collect everybody. And I don't consider you having a super collection until you really have a bunch of short print rookies, like in the 10, like if you have at least 10 short print rookies or whatever, I consider that a super collection. But then you have someone like Bayze, who's got a lot, and I mean a lot, of Justin Jefferson cards.